What's up? What's up? What's up, my YouTube family? We are back with another video. My name is Dynetra, and thank you for tuning in to Truth TV Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about triggers, and we're going to talk about recognizing the signs of triggers, how they affect you, the symptoms of triggers, the types of triggers, and so forth. I thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. Greetings to all of my truth seekers and truth tellers out there. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We definitely need to get the likes up on the videos. If you can just go into every video, including this video, and just hit the like button, I promise you it doesn't cost a thing. I would greatly appreciate it. That helps YouTube's algorithm for people to find my videos and people to find videos like mine. So I would greatly appreciate it. I thought this subject was important because lately I have been triggered a lot, and that is because I have been having conversations with a friend who is incarcerated. He's been incarcerated for about 4 years, and some of our conversations triggers me because I think it reminds me a lot of some of the things that I've been through with previous gentlemen that I've dated after my divorce. So I just kind of wanted to break this thing down and to see if you guys have experienced any of the same things. So, the T in our podcast stands for teaching, empowering, and awareness. So I always like to start off with definitions just to get you guys going on the video and just to break things down a little bit better. So what is a trigger? A trigger is referred to a stressor, which is an action or a situation that can lead to adverse emotional reaction. It's basically something that has brought on or worsened something or a symptom. Internal triggers are strong feelings that arise based on past experiences or past trauma. Trauma triggers are strong feelings that arise based on past trauma. Some of the symptoms of triggers are feeling scared, panicked, anxiety, or unsafe. You can experience an elevated heartbeat, sweating, difficulty breathing, feeling like you have no control over your emotions, an urge to run away, escape, or anything like that. Also, rumination or negative automatic thoughts. Some of these emotional triggers, some of what it may look like is rejection from someone, betrayal from someone, just all around unjust treatment, challenged beliefs when people, always try to argue what you believe versus what they believe, helplessness or loss of control, being excluded from things or people or being ignored, disapproval or criticism, feeling unwanted or unneeded. Now, I would say for me, my biggest triggers are feeling rejected or feeling ignored. Like that's one of my biggest triggers. I hate when people ignore me, whether it's a text message, a phone call, or whether I'm just seeing you out in the street, child. I just think it's the rudest thing because I don't personally do that to people. If I'm not feeling you or if I don't want to respond, even if I don't want to respond, for example, through text message or email, I will just make it short and brief. I'm never going to just ignore somebody outright, but it really bothers me when people do that. Triggers are traditionally brought on from, the past things that you've experienced, you know what I'm saying? Or, for example, if you're talking to someone and they say something that you don't like, that triggers you to make you angry, to make you, not want to be in their presence. So it's just a number of reasons why you can be triggered. It's very important to understand what your triggers are. I think that's important to understand. And once you understand what your triggers are, you need to do some self-healing to try to find out why you're being triggered and what you can do to minimize the trigger. People are always going to say dumb things. People are always going to do dumb things to you. But I found that giving no reaction is the best way to go. I know it's hard sometimes. And so what I've done is no contact and not give a reaction because people want you to act a fool. People always want to have that aha moment. Like, I knew she was crazy, or I knew she was this, or I knew she was that. So these days, I don't even give people what they're looking for. I just don't, because I feel like I'm not going to give you what you want, because I'm just not going to do it. I mean, there's not even no reason for it. I'm just not going to give you what you want. So things to help with triggers is to stay calm, avoid making any sudden movements, deep breathe. That's really good. Deep breathe slowly and deeply. Change your atmosphere. That is very important. If a certain place triggers you, maybe you going over a friend's house and, it's just too much drama and whatever going on over there, and that triggers you and makes you think about something that happened in the past, leave. Don't ever stay anywhere that's unsafe. Don't ever stay anywhere where you feel like you're unwanted. Don't stay anywhere where you feel like things will just pop off. You can also practice thought stopping. So that means that if you're having a certain thought, kind of, redirect yourself. Make yourself think about something else. Make yourself think about a happy time or a happy moment in your life that's happened or has passed, because that will definitely help stop the trigger. Some of the most common triggers are being dismissed, being ghosted, being used, sensing danger, feeling alone, being controlled or smothered, and being vulnerable. Now, three of those stick out to me, like being dismissed, being used, and being controlled. I don't like none of them. Like none of those three I can't stand. And I think that's for me, I think that's why I won't go back to a traditional job, because I just don't like people telling me what to do. I'm just going to be honest. I know that we all have to answer to somebody, but especially when people who don't know the job, that really irks me and that triggers me, because it's like, how can you tell me what to do and you don't even know what to do for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just foolish to me. So understanding your triggers and understanding that it's important to take yourself out of that atmosphere. I think that's the most important thing to take away from being triggered, is that you don't have to stay anywhere that you're uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable and being triggered is not a good feeling. And when someone is triggered, say if you're the person's friend and your friend is being triggered, don't defend, don't blame, and don't criticize, because all of those things can just make the triggers worse. Um, most people want to respond in anger, and all of those things that I named, as far as the common triggers, those are most of the things that narcissistic and toxic people do. They love to get under our skin. They love to have that reactive abuse I talk about so much on the channel. So just not feeding into it and giving people that power, it it will definitely help lessen the triggers. For me personally, because I've been through a lot of DV stuff, almost being tossed out of moving cars, ninjas driving stupid in the street, like all of that stuff triggers me. So what I do now is I don't even ride with people. I drive my own car. If I have to meet somebody somewhere, I will meet you, just so I'm in control. So I definitely understand what my triggers are. Like I said, being ignored from people, because I don't do that. I just feel like it's rude. I just try to stay away from people that I know I wouldn't have good communication with. So definitely understanding your triggers and understanding what triggers you and how to deal with it, it will definitely help you to recover. Like I said, this channel is predicated upon narcissistic and domestic abuse. And I have been triggered a lot throughout this recovery process, even because some people just don't get it. You try to explain to people that you're on a new path, that, you know, um, you're trying to better yourself, but for some reason, people just don't want to see the good in you. They don't want to see you doing better. I don't know if they feel like you're going to be doing better than them, but they just don't want you to be better. So, surround yourself with people who won't trigger you. Surround yourself with like-minded people. I cannot say it enough. Use discernment, people. You know, dealing with old wounds from past trauma isn't an easy thing to do in the recovery period. Everybody has their own recovery period. My recovery may look different from the next person. So you definitely have to know what works for you. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share today. Just talking about triggers and how we can recognize the signs. Take yourself out of toxic environments, take yourself from around toxic people who trigger you. Another big one for me is people who gaslight and manipulate. If I'm constantly telling you what you're doing is bothering me, but you try to act like it's not a big deal, that's a trigger for me. So that's just gonna make me go no contact. And I have been doing so good with no contact with certain people. It's just one more person that I need to cut out and cut off the list. And I am working on it. Like I said, this recovery process is not easy, but I'm determined to be on that righteous path because I don't want to keep being damaged. I don't want to be looked at as the damaged black girl or just the damaged girl. So I think that's important to understand and recognize. I thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, like I always say, you can email me at truth.tvpodcast@gmail. Follow us over there on Instagram at truth_TV podcast. If you or someone you know is in a toxic situation, an abusive situation, there is help available. You guys can always email me. You can DM me. There's always that crisis number you can dial from any phone. 24/7, 365 is 988. You could just dial it from any phone and the operators will help you. Until next time, guys, peace and be safe.